Hi, and welcome to our class today. We have got a gentle restorative class, so feel free to grab a pillow or a bolster and we'll get started. So we'll begin lying down on our back. Feel free to grab a blanket as well, just grabbing anything that you might want or need to feel more comfortable. And then we'll just settle in. So finding that comfortable position. You obviously don't have to have something underneath your knees if you don't want to, but it does feel usually quite good on the lower back. And depending on how you're feeling, you may want to have your hands resting on your belly, just to find that sense of connection to yourself, to your breath. A bit of inwards attention and awareness. But equally, if you prefer, you're more than welcome to reach your arms slightly out to the side, or even over your head. It can feel good to interlace them behind your head, whatever feels good. Something that we all might enjoy is just doing a little tuck of the chin, so the back of the head is still resting down, but the neck just feels a little bit longer. Maybe also drawing the shoulders slightly down. And then just be here. You may breathe a bit slower. You can also do a little check through your body, checking how the physical body feels. If there's any obvious sensations, pressure, discomfort, comfort, or if the body feels quiet today, it can also be interesting to notice. You may go a little bit deeper, seeing where your hunger levels are. If you're tired, if you feel awake, generally where your energy levels are at. Seeing where your mood is today, right now. How easy you're finding it to focus and keep your attention. As always, we're not looking to in any way judge or shame ourselves. We're not a better person if we're finding it easier to keep our attention here. We're not a better person if we feel more awake or focused. Just giving yourself a starting point. We're also not looking to completely flip ourselves upside down and feel like a new, different person after this class. Every sort of self-care, wellness practice, I think, is just putting a little bit of effort in, and maybe you just turn the dial on how you feel a couple of degrees. So immediately afterwards, you may not feel like a massive shift or difference. But as the day goes on, because you just shifted your direction ever so slightly, you will end up somewhere completely different, and you will just start that momentum moving in a direction that is more relaxed, more connected, more energized, whatever you're looking to getting out of it. So that's why it's important to take this time in the beginning to see where are we now, and maybe also seeing where would we like to go, and just a general direction, not a specific goal, just that we can start to nudge the little dial in that direction, not so that we can end up there in 2 minutes time. This is just the start. This is a little bit of effort that you're putting in to change direction, and then you've got the momentum and can just carry on going in that direction. From here, we'll bend the knees, placing the feet either on your bolster or pillow or just flat on the floor. If you have them up, it can feel really nice to do a similar thing that we did with the head, just lifting your tailbone slightly, doing that tuck of your pelvis, and then place it back down. If you do that, you may want to redo the same thing with your head. So feeling how your tailbone and your neck are just reaching away, but make sure your shoulders still are feeling relaxed. And just let your feet or your knees even rock side to side here. Feeling into your lower back, noticing if there is any tension anywhere, if you feel a bit stuck. Again, not so you can judge it or shame it or anything like that. But just to become more aware of your body, gathering data about yourself. Nothing in the human body is like an absolute forever truth. So this is just a fleeting snapshot in time that you are kind of noticing. And then bringing your knees back to center. You can bring the feet a bit closer together. And we're going to bring the right leg in. All we're looking for here is a difference in the angle of the two thigh bones. So you're more than welcome to keep that right leg in. You can make it stronger by lengthening that left leg out. If you do, I do recommend having something underneath the knee just to make it still gentle and supportive. So we're not looking for really strong sensations here. We're looking to gently nudge that down into a more connected state. You may also just want to make it a little bit lighter by having the right foot on the floor, left leg out long, or like we started with the left knee on the floor, or left foot on the floor and the right knee in. So all of those options will feel slightly different, and none of them are better than the other. But feel free to go through them all and just see what feels nice for you. So for example, I went for a run this morning, so I feel like my hip flexor is already quite tight. So I'm actually going to place my right foot down and then lengthen the left leg out, just to get a bit more space in my hips here, because that's what I feel like today. And I'm still getting that lovely angle in between the thigh bones, which is so nourishing for the lower back. It just helps to release any tension across the sacrum. Good. And then from here, take one more breath. And then bring your pillow or your support prop over to the left side of the body, placing it lengthways there. We're going to lengthen the left leg out completely. And you may just shift your hips a little bit to the right so you can roll comfortably over onto the outside edge of your left hip. Your right arm is going to reach out as much as you want it to, and try to have support for both that right knee and the right foot as you twist over to the side. You can look to the right, up to the ceiling, or to the left. That left hand can reach out to the side. You'll find a bit more space in your chest, or you can have that left hand resting on your right leg, just adding that sense of groundedness, of presence. And you can also place that left hand to rest onto your belly, connecting you a little bit more to the breath. So again, there is no right or wrong, but something might feel more comfortable or more right for you today. So trying to be as adaptable and kind of curious as possible, just really listening to what your body's saying and trying to give it that. So try all the different options, and then with no judgment, with no thinking that there is a better or a worse way to do anything. Just pick the one that intuitively feels right. And roll onto your back again. You may shift your hips back to center. You can bend both of the knees, placing the soles of the feet down. Again, maybe adding a little tuck of your tailbone, feeling the tailbone drawing towards the end of your mat. And doing the same thing with your head, little tuck of your chin, lengthening the back of the neck. So the spine in the middle is just gently being pulled apart. Notice if you're holding any tension around your pelvic floor or your hips as well. So if you for a moment can just soften all of that. Letting the twist that we were just in settle in to the body. And making our way back into the same positions that we've just done, but on the other side. So if you do have a prop, you may just want to place it across your mat again, as we're going to bring the left leg in and the right leg a little bit further out. So again, we're just looking for that little change your angle in between the two thighs. So right foot can be on the floor, left leg can be in, right leg can be out long, but again, I do recommend having some support under the knee. And you can also place that left foot down. So we're just looking for that angle, and don't feel like you have to do what you did on the other side. Again, just trying to be as adaptable and curious about your body and what it's saying right now. So it doesn't matter if you did something different on the other side. Just trying to listen to what the body is saying now. And start to draw your awareness to the breath. Maybe see if the breath can slow down just a little bit. We don't want to put any pressure on any of the breathing muscles or on our mind to in any way perform, but rather slowing it down a touch in a way that feels good. That this feels calming and effortless. And from here, we're going to bring the prop that we have, the support, over to the right side, lengthways of the body. The right leg is going to lengthen if it's not already, and then maybe shift your hips a bit to the left. You can with ease roll onto the outside of your right hip. Again, trying to have that left leg completely supported, so your foot is not hanging off by itself. You're trying to find a way to support both the knee and the shin. The left arm can be out to the side, and that right hand can again be placed on your knee, your belly, or out to the side, whatever feels comfortable. Same thing with your head, whichever direction you want to have it pointing. Maybe take a slower and deeper breath just to settle in, just one bigger one. Maybe letting it go with a sigh. Then we'll again just settle into that breathing exercise that feels effortless and full of ease. Notice here if you're adding any tension into the pelvis or into the hips, and seeing if you can just soften that. Rolling on to your back again. Again, you may shift your hips back to center, bending both of the knees and placing the hands to rest on your belly. Again, maybe slight tuck of your tailbone and tuck of your chin. Then we'll just come over to one side, either side, and just take a moment lying in a fetal position, curling yourself up into a little ball. Inhale and exhale. And then make your way up into a seated position. Good. If you have a blanket or something to sit up onto, feel free to do that. As we roll the shoulders a couple of times. Maybe roll your head around. And then from here, you're going to stretch the legs out to the sides. Does not have to be a super mega stretch. We can be a bit more gentle today. Grab your pillows or props that you have them nearby. We're just going to start with exhaling and sliding one hand down to the foot. Inhale back. Exhale, sliding the other way. Inhale. And just carrying on with the rhythm of your breath. Good. And then once you even it out roughly, we're then going to slide down that first arm again and just pull the other arm around in a big circle. Letting your whole upper body gently kind of sway. And then do one more circle. And then we'll swap it over as that second hand comes down, and then we'll circle the other arm around. And then letting that first arm come down, and then from here, grabbing your props. If you have a few pillows, you may need to kind of fold them on top of each other. If you have a bolster, just make sure the sit won't end up in your forehead, and neither will the handle. You can also grab a couple of blocks to kind of prop up onto. You can either just rest your forehead on your props like this. You can hold on to them, they don't slide away. You can also place it this way, and I actually don't have any blocks nearby, but you can place some blocks underneath and kind of rest down this way. Or you can just make a little platform for your elbows to rest onto. You can rest your head in your hand. So whichever option feels nice. And it might feel really good for you to just let go of the weight of your head as well. But whichever option you choose, we're not trying to reach anywhere. Just try to relax the shoulders down. Have that little bend in the elbows, and imagine your elbows are a bit heavy, allowing the shoulders to come down. Rounding the spine as much as you want to. And if you feel like you want some movement, you can gently turn your head side to side. Even giving it a little bit of a nod, yes. But remember that movement is not intrinsically in itself better. Feel free to try out a few different variations and making sure that you pick the one that feels nice for you today. And if you have anything supporting your head, slowly bring that down. And we'll roll ourselves up. A little bit of movement for the head again. And then coming into our supine butterfly pose, you're going to place your props. So feel free to stack up a few pillows if you don't have a bolster. You can also support your bolster with some blocks if you want to make it a little bit less intense. And then we're going to place the soles of the feet together, letting your knees go nice and wide. And if you have, you can place some blankets just to support the knees again, so they're not hanging if that doesn't feel right, if it feels too intense. And the closer your props are, the more supported you will feel, but you might also become stronger. So if you want to lessen it a little bit, you can push the bolster out so that it's resting right where your shoulder blades start. And we're just aiming to have the head and the neck and the shoulder blades supported. Arms can come out to the side as much as you want, but we're not looking for that really strong sensation. So you're more than welcome to also rest your hands on your belly, connecting you to the rhythm of your breath. If your hips at any point feel like they're getting tired and just kind of holding on, you're more than welcome to place the feet on the floor and having the knees up. But just letting your spine, your chest open, letting the shoulders gently fall away. It might be that there are some strong sensations in your body. You'll know that it's too much if you feel like it's squeezing your breath or making it hard to stay. There's a general sense of discomfort and you can still breathe slowly. You're more than welcome to stay. Just try to learn how to manage your nervous system to calm any stress responses down. So a few little tips and tricks can be to try and soften the pelvis, relaxing any tension in your hands and your face, and also making sure that the exhale is longer than the inhale. Then wherever you are, if your thighs are still out, then use your hands to slowly bring the legs together. Rolling over to the side, catching your head in your hand. Again, lie in a fetal position for a breath or two. And then moving your props out the way, coming to lie flat on your back. Knees can be bent, and we can do that tuck of the tailbone and tuck of the chin again. And feel free to bring your prop all the way down to support the back of your knees again to come into our final position here. And then start to move gently through your body, your arms and legs. Allow yourself to stretch and wake up as much as you need to. And then hugging your knees in,